Hello everyone! So this is Teacher Jenny ulit and nandito naman ako para i-discuss ang ating first topic ng third quarter ng Mathematics 7 and that is all about different geometric figures. Okay? So for our most essential learning competencies, at the end of this lesson, the learner is expected to yung una is to represent the point, line, and plane using concrete and pictorial models. Next is to illustrate subsets of a line. And the third one is to classify the different kinds of angles. And for our objectives, at the end of this lesson, the learner is expected to, the first is identify the different geometric figures. Next is to represent different undefined terms in geometry, to illustrate subsets of a line, to illustrate an angle, and to classify the different kind of angles. Now, before we start, let's have first this definition of a geometry. Ano nga ba pag sinabi natin geometry? When we say geometry, this is the study of shapes and their measurement. Okay? This came from two Greek word which is geo, meaning earth, and metron, which means measure. And now, let's discuss about the different undefined terms in geometry. Ano ba pag sinabi nating undefined terms? So, undefined terms meaning hindi natin kailangan ng exact definition for those terms. Minsan, binibigay lang natin siya by means of example. Okay? So, meron tayo ditong point, line, and plane. So, those are the different undefined terms in geometry. So, let's talk about the first one, which is yung point. The most basic geometric concept is this point. It has a location but it has no shape or size, and it is represented by a dot, and a capital letter is used to name a point. So, base sa paligid nyo, marami kayong point na makikita. Okay? We have this model for the illustration of a point. So, meron tayo dito tip of a pencil o kaya ng pen. Diba? Yan ay point. So, we can name that by means of capital letter. So, example, eto, meron tayo dito, capital letter A. Okay? And the next is we have a mango seed on a plate. So, yung mismong mango seed, yun yung ating point. So, we can name that with capital B or any letter. And then we have here, corner of a storage box. So, kung mapapansin natin, meron siya talaga dong point. Okay, so that is the first undefined terms. Next is we have the line. Line is a collection of points arranged in such a way that they will extend to opposite direction. Okay, kung mapapansin nyo daw, collection daw siya ng points. So, ibig sabihin, sa isang line, marami siyang points. So, for example, this one. Yang mga yan, there's a lot of points there. Collection niya ng mga points which is arranged in such a way na mag-extend siya in opposite direction. So, dito at saka dito. Okay, so that is a line. Again, collection of points. And then, this line has no shape but has length. Okay, meron siyang length. So, let's have an example. So, meron ako ditong line. Okay, we can name this line sa dalawang paraan. So, first is by means of a small letter. So, we can say that this is line L. Kapag ka meron tayong small letter, so we can name that as a line L. Next is by means of 2 points on the line. So, meron tayo ditong point A at meron tayo ditong point B. So, ibig sabihin, we can name this as line AB. So, ganito. Notation by this, meron siyang parang line sa ibabaw and then capital letter AB. These are the points, di ba? Doon sa line natin mismo. So, we can read this as line AB. On the other side, meron naman tayong BA. So, pwede din siya na B yung mauna and then A yung sumunod. Notation, eto, we can read this as a line BA. So, same lang siya. Okay, since it extends in opposite direction, so kahit anong mauna sa kanila. Next is, we have line can be modeled by the following objects. So, kung mapapansin natin sa paligid natin, we have this electric post and electric cables kung saan we can represent or model lines. Next is yung pedestrian lanes. Pagtatawid tayo, di ba? And then bamboos. So, we have here naman plane. A plane is any flat surface that extends to all direction. Okay, flat surface. Now, let's have this as an example of plane. A plane has two dimensions. Di ba? Meron tayong tinatawag na 3D. So, that's three dimensions. Now, itong plane ay 2D lang or two dimensions only. So, it has length only and width. Okay? Kasi siya ay flat surface. So, hindi siya 3D, kundi siya ay 2D. Two dimensions only, which is meron tayong length and meron tayong width. Now, sa example natin kanina, we can name this plane sa dalawang paraan din. Okay? Kung mapapansin nyo, there's a lot of points kasi in this plane at nagbigay tayo nitong A, B, and C. Okay? So, we can name this as plane P, yung capital letter na P. So, pwedeng iyan na yun. And then, we have another way of naming this, which is plane ABC. So, any 3 points from the plane itself, pwede natin ipangalan sa kanya. So, we have plane P and plane ABC. Okay? So again, we have the models for the plane. So we have here yung flat surface ng sa table natin, itong ibabaw, di ba? So we can consider that one as plane. And then a piece of paper, di ba? It has length and width. And then we have the ceiling and the floor. Okay? Yung mga flat surface. Now we have here, again, the three undefined terms in geometry. We have the point, the line, and the plane. Next naman natin i-discuss is the subsets of a line. So, di ba, ang line natin is one of our undefined terms. Ngayon, pag sinabi naman natin subsets of a line, for example, I have here a line. Pag sinabi natin subsets, di ba, diniscuss natin to sa week 1 naman ng ating first quarter about sets. Kapag sinabi natin subset, it's just like part of that whole. Ibig sabihin, these subsets are yung parts ng line. So, we have two possible subsets of a line. So the first is yung segment, and then we have the ray. Let's have first yung segment natin. For example, you wish to take this A and B. Ayan. You wish to take this part from point A to point B. So, inalis ko tong part na to, kinuha ko, so naging eto siya. A and B. Kung mapapansin nyo, meron siyang katapusan, di ba? Or what we call the end point. Ito, nag-end siya kay A mismo. Ito, nag-end kay B. Okay? So, this is what we call the segment. Segment is a subset of a line that has two endpoints and therefore it has definite length. So, ibig sabihin, si segment daw ay part siya ng line which has two endpoints. So, ito yung endpoints, A and B, nag-end siya. Ibig sabihin, if there's an endpoint, meron siyang definite length. Mame-measure natin yung kanyang length talaga. Definite. Okay? Length. So, we can name this as segment AB, notation, this one. Meron siyang line sa taas and then AB. And then we can also have this BA. Bakit pwede siya magkabaliktad? Kasi it's line segment naman. Both endpoints. So, ibig sabihin, nag-end siya both in this point. So, we have AB, segment AB, and segment BA. Okay? Now, what if itong line segment AB natin, gusto natin magkaroon ng measurement or mineasure natin which has the 2 centimeter as its measurement. Okay? So, meaning to say, diba, sabi natin, a line segment, it has a definite length. So, let's say it is 2 centimeters. So, meaning to say, we can note this as AB is equal to 2 centimeter. Okay? Next, what if I want to get from this point A going through this extension? Okay? So, sabihin natin ganito. Start kay A, papunta dun sa pakanan. Extension going through B. So, what do we call this one? This is what we call array. Ano nga ba ang array? Array is a subset of a line, part pa din siya ng line, that has only one endpoint. Di ba kanina yung line segment, meron siyang two endpoints. But this time, array has one endpoint and it has no definite length. Bakit? Since meron tayo ditong ray, eto yung one endpoint na sinasabi dyan. Ang ray daw ay meron lang isang endpoint. Now, it has no definite length. Bakit? Kasi nga, it extends on one direction. Okay? We can name this ray as ray AB. How about this? Can we name this as ray BA? No, we can't name this as ray BA or we can't denote this as ray BA Kasi ang dapat una nating letter is the endpoint. Ibig sabihin, from A, going there. Continuous papunta kay B. Okay? Kasi pag inuna natin si B, look, endpoint B, hindi na siya nagko-continue papunta doon kay A. So, hindi siya pwedeng pangalan dyan. Now, we can have this example naman, same as the array, but this time, kukunin natin starting from B, papunta naman doon kay A, or extending doon. Nalalagpas siya kay A. So, we can name this ray as ray BA. So, this time, pwede na si BA. Si BA naman, ray BA. Okay? So, kahit papunta pa siya sa kaliwa, ang ating notation for this is always going to the right for the ray. Okay? Hindi pa ganon. Always going to the right. So we have ray B, A. Now again, we have two subsets of a line, recall. So we have the segment and the ray. Next is, let's have this activity. What if I ask you to draw a ray? And then step 2, draw another ray but going on a different direction and with the same endpoint as the first ray. So, ibig sabihin, I have here a ray. Sabi, mag-drawing daw tayo ng another ray but going to the opposite, different direction at merong same endpoint. So, let's say I have here the other ray. So, going siya sa other direction at same yung kanilang endpoint or yung pinagkatapusan na point. So, ayan yung itsura niya. Anong tawag natin dyan? This is what we call now the angle. We formed an angle. Ano nga ba yung angle? An angle is formed by two rays. Gaya ng ginawa nating activity kanina, two rays siya having the same endpoint called vertex. Okay? Dalawang ray daw na merong common endpoint at itong common endpoint na to ay tinatawag nating vertex. Now, the two rays naman na ginawa natin kanina is what we call the sides. Okay? This the first side and then the other side. Yung two rays na ginawa natin, ayan, at saka ito, yun yung tinatawag nating side. And then, the endpoint or yung common endpoint is what we call the vertex. Now, we have here examples of angles. So, let's have the first example. I have here two rays, ayan, yung side niya, and then with common endpoint here, or the vertex, ito sa gitna, di ba? So, we can name this angle as angle A. Ito ha, ito yung kanyang notation. Then, ABC. Bakit ABC? Starting from this point, A, B, C. Or, pwede din naman siyang pangalanan nating angle, C, B, A. Okay? Hindi siya pwedeng angle ACB ha. So, that's not the given angle. So, lagi natin yung vertex yung nasa gitna. Papansinin nyo, yung B yung lagi nasa gitna, yung vertex natin. And then, we can name this as angle B. Simply as angle B. Can be. Okay? Yung vertex mismo. And then, another example is pag naman naka-encounter kayo ng ganitong angle, tapos may number lang sa mismong angle niya without any name for the points there, we can name this as angle 1. Kung ano yung number. And then if a small letter naman yung nandun, we can simply name this as angle A. Small letter A. Next is, given the angle, a point can be located on three different positions. So, ibig sabihin, given yung angle na to, meron tayong different position of the points given. Okay? Kung mapapansin natin, yung una, we have points P, Q, and R on the angle itself. We have P, Q, and R. Diba? On. The word on the angle. Nasa angle mismo. Diba? We have here the angle. Ayan. Yung point P, point Q, and point R, sila yung points na on the angle itself. Nasa angle mismo. But, we have here also the point I. Kung mapapansin nyo, eto, nasan siya? It is inside the angle. So, this is what we call the interior point. Okay? Interior point. Bakit? Yung point ay nasa loob ng angle. And then, last is, we have here point O. Saan naman siya naka-locate? It is located outside the angle naman. So, this is what we call the exterior point. From the word itself, exterior, sa labas. Okay? Exterior point. Point O. So, those are the three location of our points. Now, let's have this angle measurement. So, angle measurement, ginagamit natin talaga, alam naman natin, in measuring angle is the protractor. So, a protractor is an instrument that is used to measure an angle. And the unit of measurement for the angle is degree. Okay, alam naman nating lahat yan. Ngayon, as you can see in our protractor, balikan natin to. Nalilito kasi yung mga bata kung paano nila sila magbe-measure ng angle. Ang lagi niyong tatandaan, yung isang ray, di ba we have two rays in our angle. So, ibig sabihin, yung isang ray, ilalapag nyo dun mismo sa zero para ma-measure nyo siya, okay? Pag ang isang ray ay nakalapag dito sa zero na to, ito sa blue, kasi dyan nakalapag yung unang ray sa zero, ang count natin dyan, or yung titingnan nating measurement is not the black one, but the blue one. Tingnan nyo ha. So, we started from zero. So, meaning to say, dito tayo mag-measure sa mga blue. Okay? But, if dito nyo gustong magsukat sa kabila, for example, inilagay nyo dito yung isang ray ng ating angle at dito siya sa zero na to nag-start, meaning to say, yung buka ng angle natin, for example, this one, dun kayo titingin dun sa black. Okay? Kasi you started from this black zero. Okay? So, let's have an example. For example, I have here angle ABC or angle CBA or angle B. Okay? So, those are the three names na mabibigay natin sa angle na to. So, sa nagland yung isang ray? Doon sa zero nitong blue. Tama? So, meaning to say, ang count natin dun sa buka ng angle or measurement ng angle, the degree, would be dun sa mga blue. So, saan siya tumapat yung isang ray? Doon sa 30. So, meaning to say, this angle measures what? 30 degrees. So, we can say that angle ABC or angle CBA or angle B has a measure of 30 degrees. Or, this statement can be rewritten as measure of angle ABC. As you can see, meron tayong small letter M. Okay? Ibig sabihin nitong M is measure. Okay? Measure of angle ABC is equal to 30 degrees. Let's have another example. Paano naman pag ganito? O, look. Sa nag-fall yung ating unang ray doon sa zero nung block. So, meaning to say, dito tayo magka-count going there. Nag-land naman yung isang ray doon sa 60, doon sa block. So, meaning to say, this angle measures 60 degrees. Or we can write this as the measure of angle PQR is equal to 60 degrees. Okay? Or the measure of angle RQP is equal to 60 degrees. Or the measure of angle Q is equal to 60 degrees. Diba? We can give three names for this. So, it's up to you kung ano yung gusto nyong gamitin or kung ano yung hinihingi. Last is we have the kinds of angles naman. So, let's have this example. I have here a 1 p.m. forms a 30 degrees. This is 1 p.m. Okay? This 1 p.m. forms a 30 degrees kung i-measure natin. Now, this is an acute angle. Bakit nasabi natin acute angle to? Acute angle. Because an acute angle has a measure that is greater than 0. Mas malaki sa 0 but less than 90 degrees. Kung mapapansin nyo, na-discuss na natin to last time. Okay, let's just have a recall of this. Again, an acute angle, mas malaki kay 0, pero mas maliit kay 90 degrees. Okay, illustration nito. Let's have an example. I have here angle ABC and a measurement na nakalagay na dyan is 60 degrees. So, ibig sabihin, si 60 degrees ay malaki kay 0 but less than 90 degrees. So, meaning to say this is an acute angle. Okay? Another example, 50 degrees, 35 degrees. So, any angle na measure ng greater than 0 pero mas maliit kay 90 degrees, so 89 and below, meaning to say that is an acute angle. Okay? So, what if like this? Sa oras na naman natin, we have 3 o'clock. At kung mapapansin nyo, yung 3 p.m. natin, it forms 90 degree. So, this angle is what we call a right angle. Bakit? A right angle has a measure that is exactly 90 degrees. Basta, ang angle ay nag-measure ng eksakto ng 90 degrees. So, that is a right angle. So, let's have an illustration. Angle PQR is equal to 90 degrees. So then, angle PQR is a right angle. Last is this 5 p.m. which forms 150 degrees. So this angle is what we call an obtuse angle because an obtuse angle has a measure that is greater than Malaki naman siya to 90 degrees, but it is less than 180 degrees. So, mas malaki siya kay 90, pero mas maliit siya kay 180 degrees. So, that is obtuse angle. Illustration, for example, I have here, angle JKL is equal to 100 degrees. Di ba sa 100 degrees, mas malaki kay 90, but less than to 180. So, meaning to say, angle JKL is an obtuse angle. Another example, for example, angle JKL is equal to 95 degrees. So, that is an obtuse angle. It is greater than 90, but less than 180 degrees. Okay? So, for learning task number 1, so try to draw any object that can model the three geometric concepts. So, we have your point, line, and plane, and indicate complete levels. So, we have here, example ko dito is small electric desk fan. So, if gusto nyo talaga mag-practice, you can do this learning task number 1 wherein you will just draw any object na meron na three geometric concept na diniscuss natin, which are the points, lines, and plane. So, in this example, we have a small electric desk fan, which those buttons represent the points. Okay? Yung mga fan vanes, plane, flat surface, correct? Yung mga nasa loob na parang LEC. And then we have the cage grills na nag-represent for the lines. Okay? For learning task number 2, the direction is given the lines below, illustrate the following segments and rays. So include the name and the point. So for example, in our number 1, we have here line segment AB to, tama? So let's illustrate this one. So we can have here the line segment AB. Given itong line na to, itong kabuuan na line na to, nasan ba si line segment AB? Ito. Okay, so we have line segment AB. How about line segment CD? There. Ito si C, ito si D, so we can have the line segment CD. Number 3, so this is array naman, WX. So we have, here is a W, and then here is the X, and this is array, so going there, so we have WX as our array, WX. And then HK, we have from H, this is our endpoint, yun yung unang binigay, and then extended going to K through K, so we have HK. Okay, so Ray HK. Learning task number 3. So let's try this. Direction. Write the measure of the angle in proper notation and write what type of angle it is. Is the angle acute, right, or obtuse? So let's have example number 1. So we have your angle R, OW. Sabi dyan, ang measurement daw ay 20 degrees. So ibig sabihin, this is an acute angle. Bakit? 20 degrees is greater than 0 but less than 90 degrees. So that is an acute angle. And the next is, etong number 2 natin, this is angle A is equal to 90 degrees. So exact 90 degrees, so this is a right angle. And then the third and last is we have angle CAN, meron na tayo dyang label na 120 degrees. So meaning to say angle CAN is equal to 120 degrees, and this is an obtuse angle. Greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. Okay? So that's all for our topic about geometric figures. So that's all, and thank you.